seated. And ask Amanda De Silva to offer the land acknowledgement.
We wish respectfully to acknowledge this land from which Assumption University resides. For thousands of years, it has been a traditional home of the three forest confederacies comprising of the Odawa, Ojibwe, and Potawatomi nations. Today, this meeting places the home to many Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island. We are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land.
I'd ask Rebecca Assad to offer a prayer of invocation.
Almighty and merciful God, source of all learning and wisdom, of all truth and love, look with favor on this university as you have done for generations past. May the presence and teaching of our Son, of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, be present among us in our charity and service of others. Send us your Holy Spirit, in whose strength we may work and in whose light we may learn. Make us always faithful to the inspiration of our founders and steadfast in fostering goodness, discipline, and knowledge, under the patronage of the Queen of Heaven, God of beauty, justice, and peace. May all your endeavors and all your success be for your glory and for the good of those we serve. We ask you this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
I now declare Convocation open, and I ask Marie Campagna, the Chair of Board of Governors of Assumption University, to give words as well.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my sincere pleasure to welcome you to the 57th Convocation of Assumption University. We offer congratulations to our graduates and to their families who are here to support them. We hope you enjoy this convocation. Thank you.
Thank you. And ask now the Honorable Mike Duncan to offer greetings on behalf of the University of Windsor.
Thank you very much, Bishop, and good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the University of Windsor, it is my pleasure to welcome you all here today and to celebrate the achievements of your wonderful graduates. Bishop, I'm going to use the English of the motto, goodness, discipline, and knowledge. That is our motto as well. And as the product of a Brazilian education myself, I reflect on that often. I reflect on the history of our university and the importance of the Catholic Church, other religions to its history. So as we begin this convocation, I wish everyone well, Godspeed, and best wishes for the future.
Now I call upon President and Vice Chancellor of Assumption University, Dr. Capucci, to welcome the assembly.
Your Excellency, Bishop Fabro, Chancellor Duncan, Board Chair Campagna, distinguished honorees, Rabbi Fuller, fellow colleagues, dear graduates, and ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to Assumption University and thank you for joining us as we celebrate this year's Convocation ceremony. Convocation is the apex of the academic year. It is a time when we, as one of Canada's most historic universities, celebrate academic excellence and community service. To our graduates, in a few moments you will join a family that stretches back nearly 170 years to the middle of the 19th century. It was in 1857 that the then Assumption College welcomed its first class. Since then, generations of students have walked across this very stage to go and make Assumption University proud. As you go forward from Assumption, remember our university's motto, teach me goodness, discipline, and knowledge. Often these qualities are not conveyed solely by words, but by actions. Today, as I hope you know, is the feast day of St. Anthony of Padua, who dedicated his life to the poor, sick, and marginalized of society. I am reminded of one of his most famous sermons where he said, "Let your words teach and your actions speak. We have taught you. Now it is time for your actions to speak in service to your communities." Like our four honorees today, Dr. Dan Andre, Mrs. Imelda Murray, Ms. Diane Rico, and Elder Lana Talbot. Each of you are shining examples of what perseverance, dedication, and service to the community can accomplish. You have allowed your actions to speak for the betterment of our communities. I congratulate the class of 2026, our four honorees on their achievement, and thank you all for joining us this afternoon. I ask Dr. Daniel Christopher Andre to come forward and stand before this assembly. I also invite Dr. Claudio Verani to read the citation for the honorary professorship at Assumption University to be conferred upon Dr. Andre.
Born in Toronto, Dr. Dan Andre holds a Doctorate in Education from the University of Toronto and a Doctorate in Neuroscience. He also holds an Advanced Diploma in Stress Management and a Postgraduate Certificate in Neuropsychophysiology. He has a passion for education and a dedication to lifelong learning. He has been awarded honorary doctorates from Assumption University and Laurentian University and an honorary degree from Humber Polytechnic. Additionally, he has been awarded an honorary diploma from the Missionary Institute for Education, part of the University Health Network. He also holds a Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology and a Master's in Clinical Social Work. Over 25 years teaching at universities and colleges, he has been the recipient of several awards, including the prestigious Distinguished Teaching Award from the University of Waterloo and the Faculty of the Year Award from the University of Guelph, Humber, twice. He has made a fellow, he was also made a fellow of Ransom University College at the University of Waterloo. Dr. Andre is a distinguished community leader and has served as the first executive director of the Alzheimer's Society of Toronto and later as chair of its Patrons Council. He was given the prestigious Trailblazer Award from that society. This award was followed by a Champion of Change Award presented by philanthropist Princess Yasmin Khan. He was the longest serving president of the Ontario Association of Social Workers and leader of a successful 10-year campaign to secure statutory legislation recognizing social work as a profession. He is the inaugural recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award in Social Work from the Ontario Association of Social Workers. He has received the Governor General's Caring Canadian Award and is a recipient of the University Hospital Network Medal for Leadership in Community Health. He is an honorary patron of Brain Injury Canada and was presented with their Lifetime Achievement Award. With his great interest in the brain, Dr. Andre was selected as the Brain Advocate of the Decade and has a neuroscience laboratory for outstanding service named in his honor at the Weizmann Institute of Science. 2024, he received the Pinnacle Award from Strong Minds, Strong Kids, formerly known as the Psychology Foundation. His love of leading-edge research led him to support the purchase of a Da Vinci robot that allows for minimally invasive surgery by the University Health Network, and along with his sister, Trish Honorary, created the first robotic training academy in Canada. He serves on the board of governors of the Missionary Institute of Education and has an academic chair, the Dr. Daniel C. Andre Chair of Transformative Healthcare Education, named in his honor. Dr. Andre has been an outstanding friend and indefatigable champion of Assumption University. For the past 20 years, in 2011, Dr. Andre received the Faith and Culture Serious Medal for supporting the relationship between religion and culture in contemporary society. In 2024, Dr. Andre received the Father Eugene Carlisle Labelle Award from Assumption for outstanding service to the university and the Windsor Essex community. Last year, Dr. Andre provided a tremendous gift that will sponsor the creation of 4 new undergraduate courses to be jointly offered by Assumption University and the University of Windsor. The courses include AI and ethics, science and religion, the Abrahamic faiths, and the Holocaust. He also sponsored several scholarships for students to take the courses and others at Assumption University. As President Capucci writes, Dr. Andre is the very definition of the Renaissance man. Conversant in multiple fields of study, dedicated to expanding human knowledge, and always open to providing support for innovative projects. We're excited to have him joining the faculty ranks as the first among equals. In light of his dedication to academic excellence, community mindfulness, and support of Assumption University, President Capucci has nominated Dr. Andre for an honorary professorship, which was confirmed by the Senate. This is the first time in Assumption's near 170-year history that the title of honorary professor has been granted.
In the name of Assumption University, and by the powers authorized me as President and Vice Chancellor, it is my privilege to bestow upon you, Dr. Dan C. Andre, the rank of Honorary Professor. All the rights, honors, and privileges
Anyway, Chancellor Fabro, Chancellor Duncan, and obviously to President and Vice Chancellor Capucci, and to President, thank you so much. This honor is a privilege. It really touches my heart, for sure. And I really appreciate the association I've had and continue to have with Assumption University. Now, if you could just really allow me an indulgence here, because ultimately, no matter what field we are in, it's all about people and loved ones and friends. And so I'd just like to quickly acknowledge people who are here on my behalf, who made the trek from Toronto. My sister, Trish Hornsley. Hi, Trish. Albina Cordieri, okay, and her husband, John Campbell. Now, she's a previous Doctorate award winner too as well. So congratulations, Peter Marchi. And then Jill Adolph and her lovely daughter. Okay, yes. I spoke for a second. Ellen, no. Lauren, sorry about that, my anxiety, you see? Lauren, and they deserve credit because actually they have to fly out of Canada tomorrow. And so what they did is they drove down this morning and they're driving back to Toronto right after the ceremony. So that deserves an applause. You know, it's such a wonderful privilege, I say, but we know they have a historic here and a storied past. But for me, the important thing, above all, is the future, okay, of what's happening at Assumption. Building on its legendary accomplishments, as I look to the forward with John and the Board of Governors and his team, to what they are planning for to meet the challenges of today and the future. And Claudia was talking about some of the courses that are coming forward in terms of AI and ethics, religion and science, the economic faith, for example, and Holocaust, equipping people with the critical thinking skills to make contributions to resolving some of the problems that we are facing today. And so that is what I'm excited about. And also, Chancellor Duncan is here today, and the fact that the universities are closer than ever together. Now you can be a University of Windsor student, take courses today at Assumption, and get credit for the courses in your degree. And that is a big step forward, and the cooperation is very, very important to the future of what can be and should be accomplished. And so it's just a wonderful moment here. I've got a couple of minutes, I won't go on much longer, but just to say it's such a privilege to be here. I'm glad you're here as well to celebrate, and I look forward to being an honorary professor. And so thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
I'm just so excited to do this. It's with pleasure that I present Ms. Diane Riegel for the award of an honorary doctorate from Assumption University. Assumption's mission is rooted in the Catholic and Brazilian tradition, and its values emphasize the pursuit of excellence, integrity, service, and the formation of people who contribute meaningfully to their communities. Diane's life and career reflect those ideals in an especially compelling way. Diane has built a distinguished career as Chief Executive Officer and Chair of the Board of Directors of Rico International Group, a company with deep roots in Windsor and a strong reputation for innovation, quality, and leadership in advanced manufacturing. In an industry that's both highly competitive and constantly changing, she has demonstrated not only business acumen, but also the steadiness, judgment, and long-term vision that define exceptional leadership. Her work has helped create a successful Windsor area enterprise while contributing to the broader strength of the local economy. What is especially impressive about Diane is that her achievement is not only professional, but is also deeply personal and very interested in the community. She is recognized as a first-generation Canadian and as a role model for aspiring leaders, particularly women and those entering STEM-related fields. This matters because honorary degrees are not just about accomplishing something, but also about the impact, the inspiration, and the example. Diane's career shows that leadership can be both ambitious and grounded, competitive and generous, and successful, as well as service-oriented. Her professional path also shows courage and adaptability. She did not just inherit a business and rest in its legacy from her dad. She graduated from the University of Windsor in 1987 with a Bachelor of Commerce degree. She worked in the travel industry during a period of technological change. And then she joined the family business when her father invited her to come into the business and bring her technological know-how. Later, when she was asked to step into leadership after her father's illness and passing, she accepted a role that perhaps she didn't initially feel that she fit, and she grew into it with discipline and courage. In difficult moments, including the corporate restructuring in 2011 and the uncertainty of the pandemic in 2020, she stayed focused on both performance and care for employees and even our community. She has spoken about balancing the needs of the business with the well-being of the people who make it possible. And that blend of accountability and empathy is exactly the kind of leadership that our institutions need and our communities deserve. Diane is also a powerful example for women in manufacturing and STEM. She acknowledges the challenges of leading in a male-dominated field, but she refuses to be defined by them. Diane was one of the first women in business that I met when I came to Windsor, and she's been a very impressive colleague for many years. She insists on competence, innovation, teamwork, and self-belief. She is a kind of leader who opens doors simply by demonstrating what is possible, especially for women and immigrants who are considering careers in tech and leadership roles. When I met with Diane to discuss her accomplishments, it was very difficult because she is a very humble person. The first thing she did mention was how RICO had met and exceeded Canada's 50-30 challenge for inclusion and diversity in corporate boards of directors. Diane has contributed to our community both socially, economically, by her membership on diverse boards of directors, including Hiatus House and Investments or Essex. She was actively involved in St. Gregory's Parish as her kids grew up, and is now a proud grandma, and I think grandchildren, I could hear them. For all of these reasons, her Windsor roots, her immigrant family legacy, her resilience, her humility, her leadership, her service by example, Diane Hugo is richly deserving to be an honorary Doctor of Laws from Assumption University. She embodies the values of this university and has the best of her community at heart.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the Province of Ontario, and upon the recommendation of the Senate of Assumption University, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and honors here and elsewhere thereto appertaining.
Chancellor Fabro, President Kikuchi, Chair of the Board, Mrs. Campagna, members of the Board of Governors, members of the Senate, honored guests, members of the platform party, ladies and gentlemen, and future ladies and gentlemen. It is a very unexpected honor for me to be here today, and I want to start out by congratulating the graduates of 2026, along with my fellow honorees, Elder Len Talbot, Dr. Dan Andrei, and Mrs. Imelda Burney. There's a question I've been thinking a lot about lately. It's this: do you believe that your success, or perhaps your good fortune, is the result of your faith or your belief that it was possible in the first place? When I think about this question, the first person who comes to mind is my grandmother, my Najmona. After a terrible Second World War event in her small Hungarian village, the men were taken away to Russian work camps, including her husband. As a result, she was left to raise 7 children, all on her own, through incredibly difficult circumstances. All 7 grew to adulthood and built families of their own, including my father. My Hungarian was never good enough to ask her directly what role faith played in her life, but I do remember seeing her in prayer, often with a rosary, and I look back and think that still quiet faith that she had, that is likely what got her through some incredibly difficult times. I also think about my father, Steve Rico. He arrived in Canada after the Hungarian Revolution with a suitcase and very little English, if any at all, I believe. By the time he passed away in 2007, he had built a large company, employed many people, and along with my mother, created and grew a loving and strong family, of which I'm very proud to be part of. I never asked him whether he always believed he would succeed here in Canada, but what I did see in him was optimism, a belief that problems could be overcome even when circumstances were difficult. Perhaps he learned that from his mother. He once suggested that I should get my law degree. I'm fairly certain this is not what he had in mind, but honorary counts, right? Over the years, I've also learned something equally important. None of us succeeds alone. The people who encourage us, support us, challenge us, forgive us, and occasionally tell us to keep going when we want to quit, they matter enormously. And I'm very fortunate to have many of those people here today who've been that for me in my life. My husband, my daughters, my mother, my sisters, dear friends and colleagues, my brother-in-laws and my son-in-law, and my grandchildren, of course. I am deeply grateful to all of them. And I suspect many of today's graduates understand that lesson especially well. Many of you pursued education while you were managing careers and families and responsibilities and life's inevitable challenges. That takes discipline, resilience, and courage. And it also takes belief. Belief that growth and learning are still possible at every stage of life. I congratulate you again on your successful graduation and remind you to show appreciation to those who have helped you along the way. Today, my hope for all of you here today is that you continue to believe in your own capacity to contribute, to lead, to persevere, and to make life better for the people around you. And I'd like to leave you with a simple quote that really resonated with me. Have faith. You are capable of great things. And when I look around this room, I know this is something that I can believe in too. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2026.
Ask now, Mrs. Honorary, to come forward and stand before the assembly. I invite now Dr. Ken Montgomery to lead the recitation for the degree of Doctorate of Laws honoris causa to be conferred upon Mrs. Curry.
Inspired by her Catholic faith and love of lifelong learning, Imelda Birdie has served in so many capacities over 39 years in Catholic education. She assumed the role of the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board's top position in 2021, becoming the board's first female director of education. Before that, she began teaching in 1987 at the Simcoe Muskoka Catholic District School Board, joining the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board a year later. She's taught in every division, both elementary and secondary, and has served as a curriculum consultant, elementary vice principal, and as principal. Prior to becoming director of education, Imelda also occupied various senior administrative positions, including supervising principal, superintendent of education, and executive superintendent of student achievement from kindergarten to grade 12. In 2018, Imelda received Catholic Principals Council Windsor Essex JF Outstanding Educator Award. She has worked her way through the Windsor Essex Catholic District School Board and earned tremendous respect along the way from colleagues who viewed her as one of their own. As the board's first female Director of Education, she has served as an inspiration to countless women who have followed in her footsteps into senior leadership positions. And I'll add, an inspiration to countless men, no doubt, one is standing. During her tenure as director, student enrollment has increased substantially, student achievement results improved, and innovative program offerings, including skilled trades pathways, have expanded, all while maintaining a strong and stable budget, no small feat in the current climate. She has also played a pivotal leadership role in establishing STEM programming across all elementary schools and STEM pathways within several secondary schools. In response to significant growth in newcomer enrollment, English as a second language programming expanded from 1 to 4 secondary schools under her leadership. More recently, she was honored with the Multicultural Council's Her Great Harmony Award. Committed to ensuring that faith development remains central to Catholic education, Imelda co-established the Parish School Collaboration Initiative. Through partnerships among parish priests from the Windsor Essex Deanery and local school board principals, this initiative has become a model for Catholic school boards all across Ontario. Throughout her career, Imelda has demonstrated deep passion for Catholic education and a steadfast commitment to supporting students in their academic and faith journeys. She has often remarked that witnessing students grow and flourish has been among the most rewarding aspects of her career. Now, while this citation recognizes Imelda's many accomplishments, I would like to add a personal note of appreciation. Imelda's contributions to Catholic education and teacher development span many decades, as I've noted, but I've had the privilege of working closely with Imelda since she became Director of Education in 2021. During that time, she has been a valued colleague, a trusted mentor, and a very enthusiastic supporter of the Faculty of Education and our teacher candidates in particular. I have greatly appreciated your wisdom, generosity, your kindness, and collaborative spirit. What a wonderful human being. But as a remarkably modest individual, Imelda has consistently acknowledged the support of colleagues, mentors, and members of the senior leadership team who contributed to the many accomplishments achieved during her tenure. Today, however, we are going to celebrate Imelda and the lasting impact that she has had on Catholic education, and she celebrates this well-deserved recognition alongside her husband, Doug, and her very proud family. Congratulations.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the Province of Ontario, and upon the recommendation of the Senate of Assumption University, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and honors here and elsewhere thereto appertaining.
I'm used to having rollers in my head before I go into an event, and now I can pass them off and put it out. So good afternoon, Your Excellency and Chancellor Bishop Favreau, President and Vice Chancellor of Assumption University, Dr. John Papucci, the Board of Governors, members of the Senate of Assumption University, and today's graduates. I had a distinct pleasure in welcoming everyone at Assumption University's 56th Convocation in June of 2024. Today I stand before you to receive an Honorary Doctor of Laws at Assumption University's 57th Convocation. I'm very humbled and honored.
first Director of Education to endorse a graduate diploma in Catholic Studies at Assumption University, our Catholic Board will continue to sponsor educators in this very worthwhile graduate studies program for many in our Windsor-Essex community to partake in. At our Catholic Board over the past 5 years, we've made a conscious effort in utilizing the synodal process with our principals and pastors and lay ecclesial ministers in the Windsor-Essex Deanery. These collaborative efforts have assisted us with the spirit and conversation in addressing our hopes and challenges faced in our Catholic communities today. Last year, Bishop Fabro was able to attend one of our organizational committee meetings and was very complimentary of our continued efforts with an emphasis on the importance of school, home, and parish. This past May, I was recently honored as the recipient of this year's Multicultural Council's Third Grade Harmony Award. I was deeply moved to receive such a prestigious award for my commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion over the years at the school and board levels, as well as partnerships within the Windsor-Essex community. The Honorable Herb Gray was a trailblazer and a lifelong champion for the principles of social justice and equity. As I mentioned at the MCC Gala, to be associated with such a respected statesman is truly one of the highest honors of my career. Pope Francis in 2021 said, "Our societies will have a colorful future, enriched by diversity and by cultural exchanges. We must now learn to live together in harmony and peace." The focus here is on building relationships by showing kindness in our daily interactions with others. That creates a true sense of belonging and unity. At our Catholic Board, we continue to work together to create spaces where students feel supported and loved. In Windsor-Essex, we live in a very diverse community. Our differences are not just to be accepted, but to be celebrated so that every child feels like they belong. Recently, I had the privilege of being a keynote speaker at United Way's On Track to Success event, acknowledging the commitment and impact this initiative has had on our youth in Leamington, West Windsor, and the downtown core over the past 10 years. Through the partnership of United Way and its success coaches and the local school boards, educators, and principals, so many secondary students have benefited by this program through very targeted wraparound services, mentorship, and guidance. Many of our students persevered through many challenges and are very successful today in their respective post-secondary education pathways. So as Mother Teresa would say, be faithful in small things because it is in them that your strength lies. The encouraging lesson here is that true character and strength are built on the consistency of day-to-day responsibilities and not just the high-profile tasks. Inspired by servant leadership and working along so many colleagues and community partners has allowed us at the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board to continue to achieve our vision of building communities of learning, faith, and service. In closing, thank you once again for bestowing upon me an honorary Doctor of Laws for my continued and collective efforts serving Catholic education over the past 39 years. I'm truly grateful beyond words. Thank you and God bless.
The next recipient is the Father Eugene Carlisle LaBelle Award. The LaBelle Award is one of the most unique awards we have at Assumption University. There is no committee, there is no application process. It is awarded at the sole discretion of the President to an individual who has rendered outstanding service to Assumption University and the Windsor-Essex community. It is named after Father Eugene Carlisle LaBelle, the first president of Assumption University when we received university powers in the 1950s, and also the first president of the University of Windsor in 1963. He marks the unification between Assumption University and the University of Windsor, a bridge builder in his own right. This year's recipient of the Father Eugene Carlisle LaBelle Award is Elder Lana E. Talbot. Lana was born and raised in Windsor, Ontario. She is a fifth generation of the city and a descendant of the Underground Railroad. Elder Lana grew up in the historic McDougall Street corridor, a predominantly black neighborhood where since the mid-19th century provided a home for those seeking freedom from slavery in the United States. Her great-grandmother made a major impact on Elder Lana's life. She shared her first-hand stories of the constant struggles slaves faced in the American South. These stories sparked her interest in black history and social justice. Elder Lana completed her high school diploma at Patterson Collegiate and later went on to St. Clair College. In 1963, despite her mother's objection for fear for her daughter's safety, Elder Lana joined the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the 300,000 individuals on the March on Washington. Elder Lana had the opportunity to meet and learn from several leaders in the civil rights movement, including Mother Rosa Parks, maybe Till Mobley, both of whom visited Windsor earlier on. In 1991, as president of the Black Canadian Ethnic Club, Mr. Fergie Jenkins, the first Black Canadian baseball player, was added to the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. This organization also received $1 million from the Canadian government to support youth at risk in Windsor by giving them summer jobs. Today, Elder Lana serves as the Heritage Coordinator of the historic Sandwich First Baptist Church, which is the oldest active Black church in Canada. She is working tirelessly to create a museum on this site with the support of several community members. Elder Lana is actively involved in the art community. She is the co-founder and vice president of the Artists of Color, where she showcases her paintings, recites her poems, and shares her vocal talents with all. In honor of Her Lady Majesty's milestone, Queen Elizabeth II, Elder Lana received the Queen Elizabeth II Platinum Jubilee Pin for her extensive service to Windsor Essex. And in 2026, she was named one of the 100 accomplished Black women in Canada. She is also a recipient of the Missionary Award in 2023 and AM800 CKLW's West International Women's Day Gala Award. In 2022, I wondered why the two most historic institutions in the city of Windsor, Assumption University, Assumption Church, and Sandwich First, did not have a relationship, despite the fact that we are neighbors. I reached out to Elder Lana at Sandwich First, and I invited her to join us as we recognize the Right Honorable Madame Michael Jean, former Governor General of Canada, with the Christian Culture Series Gold Medal. Elder Lana noted to me that she has never been to Assumption Church, and she accepted my invitation. It does take a courageous person to extend an olive branch, but it takes a much more courageous person to accept that olive branch. From there, Elder Lana has been a champion of Assumption University's community work. She serves on both our Social Justice Committee and our Ecumenical Committee. In addition, together we have hosted several Black history events, including panels on Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, and most recently, Dr. King. It is my honor as President and Vice Chancellor to now confer upon the Father Eugene Carlisle Bell Award on Elder Lana Talbot. In the name of Assumption University, by the powers authorized to me as President and Vice Chancellor, it is a great pleasure to confer upon you the Father Eugene Carlisle Bell Award to Elder Lana Talbot, with all the rights, honors, and privileges therein. Congratulations.
To the platform and to the graduates and other recipients, I'm very nervous. And I just want to thank my family, my daughter, my nieces, my cousins, my friends, and I have plenty. And I'm so grateful that we all came today to celebrate with you this evening. Our community, we deserve a lot. And I hope, if you help somebody today, and my very special thanks is to Dr. John Kakuchi for that all of that, because it's done a lot for our communities. It's brought two different faiths together, Baptist and Catholic, but I feel we only serve one God, and that God is the true God that loves all of us. One God, one baptism, one life. Thank you.
The next award is the Governor General's Academic Medal. It is one of the most prestigious academic achievements in Canada. The academic medals were established in 1873 by Lord Dufferin in his role as Governor General of Canada. The purpose of the academic medal is to honor outstanding academic achievement across the nation, including at the high school, college, university undergrad, and university graduate levels. The academics are awarded to the student who has achieved the highest grade point average in the entire graduating class. In 2024, Assumption University received approval from the Chancellery of Honors at Reading Hall to present the Governor General's Gold Academic Medal. The recipient of this year's medal is Laura Ann Profada. In the name of Her Excellency, the Right Honorable Madame Louise Arbor, it is my privilege and pleasure to confer upon you, Laura Ann Profada, the Governor General's Academic Gold Medal for Outstanding Achievement at Assumption University. The Graduate Diploma in Catholic Studies is a credential conferred by Assumption University Senate through the legislative powers outlined in the Assumption University Act of 1964. The program explores contemporary expressions of Catholicism and how individuals engage and interact with them. Students take courses on an array of topics, including Catholic thought, social justice, ecumenism and interfaith dialogue, and global Catholicism. There is also the option for students to complete a major research paper, a capstone project, or a directed reading. The graduate diploma has been recognized as a hiring asset by 8 Catholic school boards in the province of Ontario. In addition, there are pathways for students to complete further credentials at the University of Windsor, the University of Detroit Mercy, St. Peter's Seminary, and the University of St. Thomas in Houston, Texas. Before we present the diplomas, I would like to express my personal gratitude to the faculty who have taught and served in this program, including Dr. Bridget Campion, Dr. Hee-Jung Cho, Dr. Anna Iannetta, Dr. Moira McQueen, Dr. Michael Noble, Dr. Michael Van Zandt Collins, and our Vice President Academic, Father Leo Walsh. I call upon my colleague, Dr. Hee-Jung Cho, to present the candidates for the Graduate Diploma in Catholic Studies to the Chancellor.
Christopher J. Belargin. Amanda Silva. Jeffrey David Gendron. Laura A. Capola. Amika K. Royce. Rebecca Rafka Sai.
I invite our graduates to stand. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the province of Ontario, and upon the recommendations of the Senate of Assumption University, I confer upon you the graduate diploma in Catholic Studies, with all the rights, privileges, and honors here and elsewhere thereto applicable. Congratulations.
University as we celebrate our graduates and their accomplishments. Let's give them another round of applause. I know how hard each of you have worked to earn the graduate diplomas, and I commend you for your dedication. Also, special congratulations to our four honorees, Dr. Dan Andre, Dr. Nelda Burney, Dr. Diane Rico, and Elder Lana Talbot for their accolades. I suspect that Dr. Burney, Dr. Rico, and Elder Lana are going to have to change their business cards. And as for Dr. Andre, we have a teaching loan for you for the fall already. I also like to thank our platform party, particularly Chancellor Duncan from the University of Windsor. We value our friendship with our University of Windsor colleagues, and we know that we are a family here working for the betterment of Windsor-Essex County. I also like to thank our board chair, Mrs. Marie Campagna, for representing the Board of Governors, and I would be remiss not to acknowledge the work behind the scenes for this convocation that was done by Mrs. Cecile Bertrand-Scory, who has spent months preparing for today. So thank you, Cecile. Some of you may know Cecile just marked 35 years of service at Assumption Assumption University. She's indicated to me that she's going to serve another 35 years. Before we close, there is one final matter of business that's not in your programs, but that needs to come before convocation. As some of you know, and I know for sure our graduates know, canon law requires bishops to reach the age of 75 to offer their resignation to the Pope. This past April, Pope Leo accepted Bishop Fabro's retirement of the Diocese of London after 24 years of service. In addition to being the shepherd of a diocese that consists of 2.5 million people and almost 900,000 Catholics, Bishop Fabro has also served as Assumption University's Chancellor, the titular head of this university. He has presided over many convocations, celebrated our annual Red Mass, served on our Senate, and attended countless events and lectures, all for Assumption. We are grateful for his service and leadership during the past quarter century. And today will mark his last day as Chancellor of Assumption University. However, before he hangs up his gown for the last time, and probably deletes my email from his contact list, we have something very special for Bishop Fabro. Bishop Fabro, I ask you to come forward. By special resolution of the Board of Governors of Assumption University, we hereby declare you Chancellor Emeritus, effective June 14th, 2026. And let us congratulate our Chancellor for the honorary. Thank you very much. And as Chancellor for the next 12 hours left, Bishop Fabro does get the last word.
Thank you, John. For me as Bishop of this diocese, one of the most important institutions has been Assumption University. We can't imagine what the Diocese of London would be like without the contribution of Assumption University. Been part of our history since the latter part of the 1870s. It's in terms of our mission as a Catholic institution, not to have Assumption would really restrict us. And so it's been important for me, and today, Convocation is the time for Assumption to celebrate what it's all about. I want to offer my sincere congratulations to the graduates of the graduate degree programs and to our 4 honorees. This has been a privilege for me, but a privilege for all of us to hear of the incredible accomplishments of our graduates, of our honorees. Things that they have done, actions that they have been involved with, they've given their whole life to. These actions express something deeper. And that something deeper is the passion, their faith, their dreams and hopes of wanting to make a difference in the world. And what they've done in their own circumstances, actions that respect the dignity of human persons, actions for justice in our world, for the ecology. These actions make a huge difference, something that our world today desperately needs. And so we're grateful to our graduates, our honorees, for their commitment to making our world a better place. We thank them, and for me as Bishop of the Diocese, I want to express my gratitude to Assumption University. What has been very gratifying for me over the last few years, particularly, is the relationship between Assumption University and the University of Windsor. It goes back to the history of our institutions. And I think both of our institutions, Assumption, the University of Windsor, are stronger in our missions by that working together. And it's gratifying to see that in these new courses that will allow students at the University of Windsor to come here to Assumption, what we can give them. The relationships between Assumption and the University of Windsor are only possible with a commitment to relationships. And John Kikuchi, our president, is really an expert at that. I want to express my congratulations and my thank you to you, John, for the leadership. This historic convocation would not have been possible without the efforts of several individuals and organizations that I would like to mention before we finish today. I commend Assumption University staff, Board of Governors, Senate, the Veto, and volunteers, many volunteers, for their role in ensuring today was a success. In particular, I applaud the efforts of Cecile Bertrand and Scotty, particularly in organizing the convocation. I've been following your directions, Cecile. We're also grateful to the Chancellor Duncan, President McMurtry, along with our colleagues from the University of Windsor and from St. Clair College for joining us. A special thanks is accorded to Assumption Church for their cooperation with our convocation today. We're also fortunate to have had the musical talents of the brass quintet. Well done. And again, I'd like to offer my congratulations to the graduates, now alumni of Assumption University, the honorees, and their accomplishments. You have made Assumption University proud today. God bless you. I now declare convocation closed. Thank you, everyone.